golden deer. The mountains on the horizon stood like a frozen sigh carved in stone. Beneath them, the bone-chilling river water clung to Arthur's waist, numbing his body. His fingers had long lost their sense of touch in the cold. He still held on to the pan in his hands, yet after days of finding nothing, his soul itself felt like a sieve, empty, drained. This California soil had once promised him dreams. On the ship, he had heard sailors say that the very ground here gave up gold at a man's first step. But now he had seen with his own eyes that it was not gold the land offered. It was toil, hunger, and despair, stripping away every drop of life from those who sought its treasure. His mind drifted back to the distant green valleys he had left behind, and to the face of his beloved Martha. He could almost smell her damp hair, feel the warmth of her touch. In this barren wilderness, those memories were his only refuge. He had promised Martha that he would return with a pouch of gold, enough to fill their small home with the glow of fortune. Suddenly, a rasping cough from an old miner nearby broke his thoughts. The man was from Ballarat, Australia. He often muttered to himself, "Gold is a phantom beast. First it lures you with hope, then it takes everything, your youth, your health, even the path back home." Since hearing those words, Arthur had felt that all of them, though from different lands and rivers, were bound together by the same invisible thread, carrying the same hollow ache in their chests. Exhausted, Arthur sank onto the riverbank. He looked at his palms, the skin cracked and bleeding. These were the same hands that once held Martha's. Now, they bore only the harsh scars of stone. He felt he was losing, not just the chase, but himself. Pursuing this golden phantom, he was being hollowed out, piece by piece. He closed his eyes, trying to recall Martha's face once more. And just then, something glimmered faintly on his wet palm. Not a great golden nugget, only a speck, no bigger than a mustard seed, caught between the pebbles. Arthur stared at it. No smile rose to his lips, only tears welled in his eyes. For this single grain of gold, he had wagered his life. This tiny spark carried the weight of every dream and every hardship he had endured. He lifted it with care. It would not make a necklace for Martha, nor light up their home. Yet in that fragile speck lay a lesson. True gold was not in the riverbeds, but in the love of those left waiting at home, in the warmth of a familiar courtyard, and in the eyes of a beloved who waits. Arthur stood up. His body was still weary, but his heart was strangely calm. He did not know if he would ever strike fortune, or even make it back alive. But today,